welcome back, everybody, to Thinkers and Drinkers with Cigars. I'm Rich.
I'm Jason.
And before we get into it, I want everybody to look down, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell icon for notifications because you guys want to show us some love. Jason, what do we got today?
We are going to talk about Cuba. We have some Cuban drinks.
We do. It is called a Canchanchara. I'm probably butchering that.
I know you're butchering
yeah, I'm not rolling my C's. So it is a classic Cuban drink, which is rum, lime juice, and honey. So my first time making it, everybody. Well, that's refreshing.
That seems like a good time.
Yeah, it does, and dangerous.
Yeah, very much.
All right.
And to go with that, we have the Oscar Leaf wrapped cigars.
10th anniversary. This is considered a New World cigar. We can't get our hands on Cuban cigars, and would we be able to tell everybody if
Not
we did?
legally.
Yeah. Would we be able to say if we did or not?
Not legally.
Yeah, true.
But no, good drinks, good cigars.
Yeah, this is a good pairing.
Yep.
You guys are looking for something cool, or it's a good cigar pairing. This Leaf by Oscar, 10th anniversary. And this Canchanchara.
I will say this is quickly becoming my go-to cigar.
Both of us.
Yeah.
We both go directly there.
Yep.
To get this cigar.
Yeah. And if I could get my humidor, if I could manage it right, I would feel comfortable buying a box of these and putting them in there. But I haven't quite mastered the whole humidity settings in it yet. Yeah, I'm still playing with it.
So, again, we've had a Leaf before. And the cool thing about it is this company uses the entire plant. Like it comes wrapped in a leaf. The paper they used for the wrapper is made from the leaf. So they're not, I don't know. I guess it's sustainable. I don't know. What would be the word for that? The way Native Americans would use every part of the animal.
Using the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Using the whole thing. But so what do we got on the board tonight to talk about?
It is one of your favorite places, Cuba. I have never seen such an island have such a global impact, and it's such a little place.
Yeah, I mean it's not big at all. There's like 11 million people there, I think, if that. You know, it's
that's like the size of Miami.
Yeah, it's not big at all. But it has played such a huge part in America's history. You know,
on the global
67 years ago. You know,
so a little bit of history is 2 tribes were on the island way back when. And it was Christopher Columbus that discovered / ruined it for these 2 tribes. Because when they came and then he just planted a flag and said, this is for Spain, disease went through the island.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, anytime you introduce a new culture to another culture, there's going to be bad things are going to happen.
Imagine your neighbor going into your living room and planting a flag and like, this is mine. Here's smallpox.
I would let them plan it, but that would be the end of it.
Then you'd have a rebellion.
Yeah, we would have a civil war
for your cash crops.
But yeah, but no, I mean the culture, the history, the libations, the cigars, the food, the dancing.
Yeah. Oh God. And I grew up 45 minutes from Miami, and Little Havana's there, and I used to love going there. And even growing up on Fort Lauderdale Beach, we had this festival called Cayocho, which was this whole beautiful Spanish. They shut down the road along A1A, and it was just colors and wonderful smells from the foods and coffee. Are you a coffee drinker?
Does Dunkin' Donuts count? No. Okay.
Well,
then I'm probably not a true coffee drinker.
Yeah,
then.
Rich does not run on Dunkin' at all. Hashtag ad.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great place. You know, the last time I was in Miami, I went to Little Havana. and Nikki and I did, and we made sure we went to a cigar lounge,
Mm-hmm.
got some great cigars, great hospitality and service.
Oh yeah.
You
Have you
know,
ever? I'm sure you've been to any of the Cuban restaurants that were
Mhm.
down there, and it's like little mom and pop places. Best hospitality, the best food. I could have a arroz con anything and love it.
Yeah. I don't know. We went to that one restaurant. It wasn't really a Cuban restaurant,
Hmm?
I don't think. It kind of leaned that way when we were in Huntersville.
Oh yeah, yeah. That Havana.
Was that the name of it?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
a
okay.
Havana.
It was Havana 33, I think was.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Um, great food,
Mm-hmm.
great food.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What is uh, they slow roast chicken and pork, which I love. But Cuban sandwiches, one of the best things on the planet.
yeah. And if I remember right, I think I order some cigars to the table. I tried to buy the whole box.
Yeah, you pretty much did.
And,
That was when Jason was a little rinsed that night.
yeah, it wasn't coffee that was being drank at the table
Mm-mm.
that night, but yeah, I mean, what a great place.
Uh, what am I getting at here? Couple of very famous drinks have come out of Cuba. The very popular Cuba Libre, which is just rum and coke. Daiquiri. I didn't know that came from Cuba.
I'm thinking I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
That came from there.
And the very famous mojito.
That's from there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
What I like about these Cuban drinks, they're very refreshing. Like it hits a lot of palate notes. Am I being pretentious? Is that right?
No, I just say
Tongue feelings.
it tastes like spring.
Mm.
How's
Not like
that?
a summer sitting out.
A summer breeze.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Tastes like a summer
Agreed.
breeze.
Agreed. Have you ever met anybody from Cuba?
Um, I would like to think when I was in Miami at the One Cigar
No,
Lounge,
probably...
I would think that those people are from Cuba, but I mean, I don't. I hate to assume, but I would like to say, yeah, they probably were. Great people.
The gentleman I work with in IT, he's from Cuba, and he had to escape. He was one of those had to flee Cuba, probably just about 15 years ago, maybe.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like his family is still there. He's one of those who has to send money and supplies still. Is it still the same kind of government style?
I think it's the same kind of regime, I guess is the word. I feel like it's those people are kind of passing on. The next generation is kind of coming up. So there's a little bit of relaxation of the tensions between us, and Cuba, between America and Cuba, which, it's been like 60, 70 years since all that.
Yeah.
It's time just to move on,
Yeah, because with the Cuban Missile Crisis, is that what kicked off the whole embargo?
I believe it is, yes.
And
had I paid attention in
I
school,
know.
I'm sure I could probably tell you, but that was some useless information that we were learning in school back in the day.
Yeah, so that Cuban Missile Crisis was the closest that we came to a nuclear bombing
that we know of back then.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it was Cuban Missile Crisis led to the Bay of Pigs, then the embargo, which is crazy because at one point in Cuba's history, they were the leading producers of sugar.
Yeah.
They, sugared the world, sweetened the world, like Willy Wonka.
I know. I think it's time just to let all that go. Bring in the tourism from all the countries, especially from America.
Will it ruin the feel of Cuba?
There's a good possibility, I would think. I mean, once you bring in so much tourism,
then there's a Starbucks.
Yeah, I mean, God, don't put one of those there, for sure. But there probably is one there already. Yeah. I'm sure.
Because people say it's where time forgot in the 60s. Like it
Well,
stood still
they're
there.
still driving a lot of the classic cars there,
Hmm.
which I would love to see that.
Hmm.
I would love to go there and see this.
And, for our benefit, the cigars. We, uh,
I would like to go there
mhm.
and see this being made, how
Yeah,
they did it, because they're still doing it
by hand, the
by
traditional
hand,
way.
traditional way they
Mhm.
did, 100 years ago,
Hmm.
or however long it was.
So the government owns, I think, 51% of the cigar companies.
Yeah, that
And
sounds about right.
yeah, and they choose what, like, let's say Punch cigars. They're a Cuban cigar. They put their name on a Cuban cigar.
Okay.
What would that be called? But brand, I don't know, branding.
Branding.
Yeah. And but and we got Mr. Bucklebottoms here to help me out with the fact checking on this one.
Hmm.
It was 60s, 70s when during the embargo, and growers took the seeds and went to other islands, and we get these New World is what they're
Mhm.
called, but they're the same quality as Cuban cigars. And there's no oversight to Cuban cigars, so if you get a box, you might get 3 that are great, and the rest
That's the
not.
chance you take.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the chance you
So you get
take.
the prestige of saying, "Yeah, I've had a
Yeah.
good
Yep.
Cuban cigar."
Yep. And I like to say I have. I
Mhm.
mean, I've had some good Cuban cigars.
Yeah. Ugh, jealous.
It definitely, and I think it's a mindset thing too. Where you're having this. You
Yeah.
know,
Explain.
I think it's just